Really a brisk day out here today.
Absolutely. You can definitely tell that Nicole's going to play a factor here, like you mentioned before.
Always. Always.
Now, do you think we'll see a maul, or do you think we'll just see a straight-up ruck over here?
I'm not really sure, actually, what to expect right here. Okay.
Oh, so you got him getting into position. Oh, and now they're moving. The ball has been rolled underneath. It's picked up by NC State, number 9. Oh. Pass down the field to number 12.
Wolfpack with the ball.
And there are lots of laterals going on in this game. Is that normal for a rugby game, Logan?
Yeah, definitely. It's the way you pass the ball, so you're going to see a lot of that every time.
Yeah, and I believe there's no forward movement. Is that right either? There's no forward passing of the ball like in football.
Yeah, no forward passing. Gamecocks regain possession here.
They're pushing forward. Oh, and she was tackled down. Trying to find out who gets possession of the ball. Oh, the Gamecocks have possession of the ball once again.
Kind of breaking out there really fast, trying to advance the ball as quickly as possible, gain as much ground as they can.
She dropped it to the ground, passes it to, oh!
Big hit there.
Took 2 defenders to drop her down. She drops it on the ground and attempting to pass it.
Gamecocks regain it. Very aggressive play out of both teams right now.
Absolutely.
A lot of pushing. Wolfpack comes out with the ball somehow.
And I love all the aggression we're seeing. Like, it's so competitive with the Wolfpack. You really see the resilience of both sides, though.
Yes, very much so. Just the pushing and just, it's very aggressive, but it's honestly a sight to see. It's kind of an art to it, honestly.
And what I like about rugby is that it seems like there's so much emphasis on ball movement. There can be entire stretches where there can be entire games where one team has the ball the whole time.
Yeah, basically that's pretty much it. No, it's a very, very, very physical sport, as we're already seeing today. But there's not going to be a lot to it. It's going to be a lot of back and forth, and one team can dominate a possession for a very long time.
And as with rugby, as you can see ahead of us, there's a lot of speed, strength required to make sure that the game is very efficient. The game is NC State with possession once again, moving up the field.
Pure strength right there.
Absolutely.
Barreling through. Such impressive play right there. Kind of a stoppage there real quick.
I would hate to get in any of those ladies' ways.
That's a guarantee.
Oh, down to the ground again. Both teams fighting for possession of the ball.
Great.
Wolfpack retrieves it. Lateral pass to the back to number 1.
Great job.
Gets tackled once again.
Fantastic job by the Wolfpack right now. They're just moving the ball. They're making sure that everything's going right.
And
Gamecocks have the ball.
oh, lateral pass by the Gamecocks. Oh, it's rolling on the ground right now.
Gamecocks stretching the field out right now, losing possession there. Don't want to keep the ball on the ground too long there because so many people moving around the field. You've got to expect it at all times. The ball could come to you.
Absolutely, Logan. And what I think is so amazing to watch about this game in particular is that there's so much back and forth movement. Teams can store points all the time in games of rugby. Or you can see kind of like this where it's very back and forth and you really can't tell who's going to score first at any given time.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Especially with how many tries you can have in a game or as few tries as you can have. It's really just a varying thing how much any team can really score.
Oh, passed back to number 77 of the Gamecocks, who's passed to number 16 and is running down.
Kind of blocked by the Wolfpack team right now. Can't get a clear view.
Hey, those Wolfpack fans, though, right? They show up and they show out wherever they go.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's where a lot of the Wolfpack gets its strength from. Just their fans supporting them wherever they go.
Yeah, big time. It's very important for every sport to be able to have that fan base.
Okay. And then you can see... can't see much, but the game has slowed down.
Gamecocks with the try right there. Wasn't able to catch much of that, but Being informed that that was in fact a try right there for the Gamecocks, who take the lead there.
Yeah, so what do you think that does to the Wolfpack now with the Gamecocks taking a lead already?
I don't think it does a lot because it's still so early in the game. I think you want to play a little bit more defensively to make sure that they don't build that lead too much, but you still want to be aggressive to get your own points on the board.
Absolutely. I think possibly, though, it also could be a bit of a mental thing, too. When you're in such a competitive game, drawing first blood can really set the momentum for the rest of the match.
Yes, very much so.
But what it also can do, too, is it can also drive the Lady Wolfpack to actually, to another level. It can say, you know what, we need to get up, we need to play more defense, we need to get up, and we need to rise above. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. We're going to see them come back and say, you know what, we're going to score, and we're going to keep scoring on you.
Yes, absolutely. And Gamecocks there getting a conversion there, basically an extra point in layman's terms for those not familiar with rugby. So Gamecocks with the early lead.
And we got the fans out here doing the NC State chant. It's exactly what you want to hear from your side, right?
Yes, very much so.
It's going to do a lot for the Lady Wolfpack, and we have the Gamecocks. They see the Wolfpack getting riled up, so they're ready to respond.
Absolutely. No, it's definitely a game of give and take every time down the field. Right now,
Gamecocks with possession.
Got the ball on the ground right now. Nobody. Referee stopping the play.
Gamecocks.
So basically they're having the scrum right now because the ball went forward after she put it on the ground, which is a penalty, of course. So right now we're having the scrum right now to determine possession.
Oh, and the referee calls the whistle again. I guess we're trying to figure out what's going on in the lineup over there.
Yep, just getting everything straight and set. Definitely one of the more interesting things to watch in a rugby game, the scrums.
All right, so we got the ball has been placed in the middle of the scrum.
Wolfpack
fighting
push.
for possession, and the Wolfpack takes off down the field.
They break away, taking that down the field. They're gonna keep possession, trying to get the ball to a teammate. Gonna push it. Going to the ground again. Gamecocks come up with the ball there.
And one of the things I think...
Wolfpack breaks away.
Wolfpack fighting on the field with the ball.
Kind of slowing it down, trying to get that try in. Chance from the team over here.
Yeah, I mean, what are they? That's exactly what it is, whether you're on the sidelines or whether you're actually in the game.
No, definitely team effort here at all times on the rugby field.
Got another scrum happening right now.
Presumably for the same reason as last time.
And we'll see who gets possession of the ball this time, and we'll see if the Wolfpack can translate this into a score, to a try.
Wolfpack coming.
Oh, ball launched down the field in possession of the Wolfpack, making their way down. Number 15 is currently being tackled down to the ground.
Fantastic job there, just breaking away once you have possession of the ball.
Lateral pass twice, down to number 12 of the Wolfpack. Number 13 with the ball, making her way down the field.
Get the ball back. They're so close here. You really want to turn this into a try. Tackled down there. Pushing very hard. Almost got it. They're pushing so hard here.
They're trying to get her. During the game, isn't it normal to see entire teams trying to push their teammates forward towards the goal line, Logan?
Yes, absolutely. You want to get every last amount of strength that you can get into that push, trying to get them down there for the try.
And you know, it seems like it really adds to that team mentality as well. Of not only am I doing this, trying to score, but I got my whole team literally at my back trying to help me score.
Very much so. Very much so.
So I think we may have gone for the try.
Okay, the Wolfpack did in fact get the try right there.
So we do have the Wolfpack on the board now. What's
Yep. Yep. So right now the Gamecocks are up 7-6. Right now with the Wolfpack trying for their conversion right now.
And what are the conversion points normally worth, Logan? Are they worth 1, 2 points?
Yeah, it's going to be a 1 point.
Okay.
My bad. Sorry, I meant 5.
Okay, 5.
6.
Okay.
It should be 6 to 5, right?
So just to reiterate the score,
Okay.
the score is currently 5-5.
5-5, in fact. Correction there. Didn't see if they converted that.
Just waiting on the play to start.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a score of 5-5 at the moment. Neither team converting their conversions right there, per se. Fantastic job out there by the Wolfpack, just driving the ball down the field. Really, just rugby's kind of fun to watch, honestly. Just you see the physicality, you see how much this matters to everybody out there.
Absolutely, Logan. And again, it can be hard to keep up with at times because you just see a bunch of bodies colliding with each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think just seeing the drive, though, seeing how hungry these teams are for competition.
Yeah, absolutely. Wolfpack with the ball right now, driving forward.
Number
pushing.
3. Oh, drops the ball to the ground after being tackled. Picked up by the Gamecocks. And now the Wolfpack are all over the Gamecocks trying to get possession back of the ball, which the Gamecocks retain possession and are making their way down the field. Oh, tackled once again.
You'll kind of see the ref is really close on the action to make sure that everything's going according to the rules right there. Really just, especially with the pile-ups, just right in there. Wolfpack breaking away. Fantastic run down the field.
All the way going. She's going. She's going.
Can she get
all
it?
the way down for the try. Can she do
Almost.
it? Oh, lateral pass backwards.
Almost there. They're so close.
Ball dropped on the ground.
Right now, nothing.
Lateral pass to number
Looks
3
like they
of
might
the
get it.
Wolfpack. The Wolfpack goes in.
Can't see
And we're
because
trying
of the
to
fans.
figure out if they're just short of the try or if that actually is another try for the Wolfpack.
Can't see right now. Looks like it's not quite.
Yeah, they're repositioning on the field for an attempt at the try.
Okay. Okay, so there's a scrum happening way down there right now. Wolfpack trying to push forward just for that last little bit to get that try.
So the question is, can they capitalize on this, being so close to the end, to the area? Oh! Gamecocks are pushing hard, got a hard tackle down to the ground.
They're pushing really hard here. Can they get it?
NC State pushing even further down. And we're still just trying to verify whether it was officially a try or not this time.
Cannot tell from here.
And even though the points aren't equivalent, you would say like a try is like the equivalent of a touchdown in football, right?
Yes, very much so. You get the 5 points instead of the 6, but you do, and with the try, you have to get down to the ground and touch the ball down. Basically, essentially, a true touchdown.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So we see them get into another scrum, so I guess that wasn't the try.
They're getting so close every single time. They've got to make this last little push right here.
And it started, and the ball has been launched underneath the scrum, picking up for possession.
Wolfpack pushing hard right here. So close to that last little bit. Right here, you got to imagine they're trying everything possible to get that last little bit, like I said.
Yeah, they have to get they have to earn every inch, every yard. The Gamecocks are really making the Wolfpack work for this other extra score.
Yes, very much so. trying to making them work hard for it, and definitely trying to keep Wolfpack from taking the lead, because you don't want to give up those 2 consecutive tries without scoring.
And let me ask you this, Logan.
Yeah.
Do you think there's more, after the Wolfpack has scored, now they're on par with each other, do you think there's more pressure on the Gamecocks to keep them from scoring? Oh, the Gamecocks have retrieved the ball.
Huge hit, just trucked right over the player, just down on the ground for a little bit.
Thankfully, she's okay. She's getting back up. And, wow, Logan, what do you think for the fact that they were so close to getting that try, only for the Gamecocks to get possession again?
It's really disappointing, but you can't get demoralized by that. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep trying, like we're seeing right now, trying to get that ball down and take possession.
Wolfpack are still fairly close to their respective end zone, I believe, their respective scoring area.
Yeah.
So they can still turn this around and get the ball back for a try.
Yes, definitely. It's not even at the halfway point yet for the Gamecocks, and Wolfpack taking it back right there, actually. It's been a very physical game thus far. You can only imagine that's going to get even more so.
Neither team yielding an inch. Oh, another hard hit to the ground.
Ball kind of pops loose there at the end there.
Possession picked up by number 3 of the Gamecocks, it looks like.
Given with the rosters, we're not sure if the numbers...
Yeah, with number 3, it looks like that's Sam Baskell, who went down.
If our roster is correct, then yes, that would be. Right now the Gamecocks kind of slowing it down a little bit, trying to get the perfect lateral position.
You're seeing a bunch of laterals around here.
Yes.
It seems like, oh, wow, another hard hit. She gets back up. The Gamecocks fighting for every possession. The Gamecocks have it again.
They do indeed, as we're starting to feel a little bit of a light drizzle out here, actually.
Number 1 of NC State pulling down.
Very physical, a lot of big hits right here.
And Logan, it seems like they're not able to get very far. Like they can only get a couple people for their tackle down again.
Yep. No, it's a game of inches, really. Trying to push for everything that they've got.
And when you think about all the energy it takes to keep that momentum up the whole time, especially when it's so back and forth like this, and you have to use all your strength and your speed for every couple of inches, you got to imagine it's going to tire you out fairly quickly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But you just got to have the perseverance and keep pushing, keep trying out there, and eventually it should pay off, because you imagine the other team's going through the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So both teams are just bashing at each other, trying to get that little bit.
So we've got the drop ball, I think it's what it's called. Is that correct, Logan?
I am unsure.
Launched down the field, and it is kicked out of bounds by the Wolfpack.
It's a great kick right there. Just sped right past all the Gamecocks.
So since it went out of bounds, it's going to be a line out.
Okay.
Since we were kicking for touch from that position, if you kick it out, it's still your ball.
Okay, so Wolfpack with possession because they managed to kick it out right there, and we're going to have the line out. Waiting for that to happen. And definitely, in that case, that was a fantastic kick right there. Just getting it past everybody. Wolfpack with possession in Gamecock territory, trying to get this try, take the lead. Gamecocks breaking away. Big tackle. Fantastic job there. What a hit. That was pretty nice.
Gamecocks with possession of the ball once again, and they are just making huge strides down the field.
Didn't bring them down right there.
Wolfpack picking up on their defense, launching them to the ground.
Wolfpack coming away with the ball right there. A lot of the game is played on the ground right here. Trying so hard to get this ball going and build up some more momentum.
Number 3 of the NC State Wolfpack just got tackled to the ground, picked up by number 8 of the Wolfpack, pushing forward, who meets a whole wall of Gamecocks.
Gamecocks are in fantastic defensive position right here. Wolfpack trying to get the ball out. Gamecocks just kind of powering through and scooping the ball up right there. Coach is very close to the action right here.
Gamecocks with some more lateral passes, trying to make plays to move down the field.
Going to get stopped right there.
Oh, and all you see is a bunch of red and black over the Gamecocks with the ball.
Very physical right there. A lot of just heavy lifting and pushing right there.
And it seems like you see a lot of playmaking, too, with a lot of lateral passes. Logan, isn't that right?
Yes, very much so. You'll see away from the ball, if the player is the farthest away, they're going to try to sneak a little bit of a breath, try and catch up a little bit.
And what do you think these lateral passes really do for the game of rugby?
It helps set up for a try, and it showcases the speed and just the agility and the teamwork that you have to make this game work and to win.
Absolutely.
So it's very important.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you. And it seems like it makes the game a little less predictable than you might think football is, actually.
Yeah, actually. There's a lot more to it, and I think that there's a little bit more. Every player has to be ready to do something instead of, in football with the quarterback having the ball every play. You're going to have a wide variety of players that touch the ball on every possession in this game.
And, I think that's actually an excellent point you made, Logan, because like you said, you have to always be prepared to have the ball. With the lateral pass, you have to be prepared to make a play and to drive down the field or to get the ball at any capacity.
Yeah, very much so. And whereas in football, you've got like the linemen who never touch the ball, unless, of course, you're the center.
Absolutely.
But here, everybody's going to have a chance to touch the ball.
And not to mention, there's really the lack of momentum really stems from not being able to throw it up the field, as opposed to you have to actually physically run it up the field every time.
Yes, very much so. Looks like right now the ball went out of the playing area.
The ball just went out of bounds, so now it's line out.
Okay, so we got another line out here. Ball going out of play.
Oh, looks like that was a maul, I believe.
No, that's just the lifting that happens during the line out. If they stand upright on the ground and keep moving as people are binding onto them, it's when a maul happens.
Going to do the line out again up here.
So I was incorrect. That wasn't a maul. It was actually a lift.
Wolfpack doing a great job getting their hands in front of the Gamecocks' attempt to throw it in right there. Wolfpack coming away with it.
Wolfpack possession. Tackle to the ground. We're trying to find out who has possession of the ball. Looks like it'll be Wolfpack possession. Oh!
Breaking away.
Moving down the field. Oh, hard hit.
Something you never really want to see for the Gamecocks right there. They really they hate seeing the person break away and almost get behind everybody.
Here comes the Wolfpack moving down the field, some lateral passes. Oh, really smart playmaking.
Lateral from the ground right there. Didn't have time to try to set up the push there. Gamecocks kind of stonewalling the Wolfpack here.
And I love that. I love the fact that each time they feel hands in their body, that ball is moving elsewhere.
Yes.
They're not giving the Gamecocks a chance to really hold on to the ball.
No. Definitely doing a great job with their ball possession right now. Wolfpack just coming away with it every single time.
So it looks like the ref stopped the play for some reason. Did you see why, Logan? Or
looked like the ball dropped and may have rolled forward a little bit from what I saw. So it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a scrum right here. Chance of rain coming true a little bit here. Very, very cold rain I'm feeling right now. Here we've got the push and the scrum right here. Gamecock's going to come away with it. They've got their lateral set up, going to be disrupted by a member of the Wolfpack. Taking off just sideways down the field right now.
Oh, and now the Gamecocks
absolutely stopped.
Wolfpack playing really intense defense, don't you think, Logan?
Yes, very much so. Now, kind of a second wind, if you will.
Yeah, which is funny to say, but just because there was such ball movement on the Wolfpack where they made such big strides up the field.
Yes.
And now you're seeing the Gamecocks kind of struggle with moving up the field themselves.
Definitely with a good run there. Going to keep the ball moving right there. Going to want to try to bring them down right here. Great job. Great job.
Gamecocks running into a sea of red and black. Hard hits to the ground, fighting for possession. Gamecocks have retained possession again. Now they're struggling to rip the ball away from number 9 of the Gamecocks.
Great job by the Wolfpack here with the defense, though.
The referee calls the whistle. Looks like
Gamecock going to have possession here. Going to just barge right into the field right here, charging into the Wolfpack defense. Gonna have another stoppage here. Gamecocks again going to start with the ball. Referee marking where they will be starting from right here.
Gamecocks had a backward pass. Oh, Gamecocks making huge progress up the field. Another backwards pass. Number 8 of the Gamecocks just running up the field. I don't know what was going on with NC State's defense before, but it seems like it's not holding up as well. The Gamecocks keep moving up the field. What do you think, Logan?
Definitely giving a little bit right here, but it looks like the Wolfpack actually have possession right here. Oh, they're going to have the ball. Take off down the field. Going to get stopped very quickly by the Gamecocks, who are just ready and waiting for that.
This game is so intense. I feel like at any moment you'll see somebody get drop kicked.
Yeah, absolutely. No, just so much going on every time in the field.
And you have to really give them credit too. I mean, no pads are all they're putting it all out there. No pads, no kind of protection. Just them and their teammates going at it against another competitor.
Absolutely. Again with the laterals right there, trying to break free.
NC State trying to get some momentum back. And it seems like it's been really hard for them, don't you think? Especially when they almost had that chance to get the upper hand with the score, with the try on the Gamecocks.
Yes, and really that missed try down there that ended in disappointment for them, really coming back to haunt them, I would think, right now, trying to make something happen and get another opportunity like that.
Ooh, Gamecocks retrieve possession of the ball after a brief stint with NC State holding it.
Going to have some physical play right here. A lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, a lot of players just being toppled. Gamecocks breaking free a little bit here.
Number 7 had the ball. So it looks like there was no try by the Gamecocks. Looks like there was no try by the Gamecocks, but it looks like there might be a scrum about to happen.
Definitely going to be a scrum right here. Unable to see what really led to it here, but going to see this happen right here, right now.
Whoever it was them, not us.
Yep.
So whatever the stoppage was, it appears it was on behalf of the Gamecocks, but even though the Wolfpack now has possession.
A big hit down there, being brought to the ground.
And the Gamecocks are so close to their scoring zone. You have to imagine they're really feeling it right now. They're really feeling hopeful about scoring.
Yeah, absolutely, no. And anytime you get close in any sport to a score, you really just want to make it count every single time.
Absolutely. And looks like
Gamecocks are very close right here.
Gamecocks
looks like they might get it.
Gamecocks are really fighting to get to that scoring zone. Now we're just waiting to see if the try is confirmed or not.
Not quite.
Looks like they're lining up again.
Yep. Gamecocks with possession here.
And you have to wonder if the Gamecocks make the same mistakes that the Pack did when they were that close to their own scoring zone.
Yes, definitely. It's going to be very physical right here with a lot of physical play.
It looks like South Carolina Gamecocks have got the try.
Gamecocks, in fact, do get the try right there.
So now the score is 10-5.
10-5, and with the conversion on the way from the South Carolina side. Rain starting to come down a little bit more out here on
and that's just another
field. That's
just another factor you think they have to deal with, right? It was the cold, now they're adding the cold and the rain together.
Yes, very much so. It's if anything, it makes it colder because now your hands are going to be freezing, such as mine are right now.
So what do you think is the biggest difference between the Gamecocks being able to convert that into a score, being so close, and then the Wolfpack coming up just short on the other end of the field?
Well, of course, the biggest difference coming away being the change in score. But Gamecocks coming away with a lead there, and that's going to shift the momentum, I think. And Wolfpack definitely going to be trying really hard right now to bring it back, per se.
Yeah. So if anything else, you have to imagine, Logan, that this is going to motivate the Wolfpack even more.
Yes, very much so.
But that's what I like to imagine. Do you think it's going to hurt them kind of mentally, knowing that, okay, they scored on us, and we were so close to scoring before, and now we feel even more pressure to come back and score ourselves?
I think, yeah, definitely you're going to be feeling some of that pressure to come back and score right here. But you can't let it get to you too much here because the game is still not even close to being over yet.
Yeah.
And you've definitely got to keep going and just keep your pressure up on both offense and defense at the same time.
And you have to ask the question, too. Is it the Gamecocks' offense or is it the defense of the Wolfpack? Which is really the determining factor in what's going on here?
I think the Gamecocks' offense was really strong right there. They came up with the ball in several laterals and just managed to have that breakaway speed right there. Wolfpack defense had a few misses there, but I think really it came down to the Gamecocks' offense being very strong in that situation.
Now we're just waiting for the drop ball to start. Ball kicked down the field. Picked up by the Gamecocks. Lateral pass once again. Oh, pulled down hard by the Wolfpack. Although Gamecocks retain possession.
Gamecocks missing that conversion, by the way.
Gamecocks meeting a bunch of the Wolfpack. Oh, Wolfpack gets possession of the ball. Number 11 of the Wolfpack moving with the ball. Oh, tackled hard to the ground. Number 3, several girls over her, knocking her to the ground.
Very physical right here, right now.
Fighting for possession of the ball. NC State retains possession.
A lot of pushing right now. Definitely want to get that power and breakaway right here. You'll see the people at the bottom of the pile just squirming to try to get away.
Oh, and she didn't get too far. Number 3 looks like she was taken down hard.
Very difficult right here.
So South Carolina passing it off. Oh, lateral passes everywhere.
Looks like we actually have a player down over here, trainer attending to them. Didn't quite see what happened, but we have a member of the pack down. Game continues, you'll note.
Oh,
Gamecocks breaking
with
away.
the ball.
Just nobody there.
Lots of lateral passes. Looks like they're set in a position to move the ball way up the field once again.
Wolfpack did a great job stopping them there. Really looked like they just had an absolute breakaway.
And for a second, like the Wolfpack did get possession back of the ball.
Pack somehow coming up with it right there.
Ball tossed in the air. Retrieved by the Gamecocks.
Kind of a clear there almost.
As soon as they had possession, almost taken down on the ground immediately.
Bringing them down. Wolfpack going to come up with the ball there. No, Gamecocks retaining possession, actually. My bad.
And we had the whistle blown. Looks like possession might be sticking with the Gamecocks, which it is.
Yep. Gamecocks going to retain possession here.
So number 9 has been taken out of the game with an injury, and with number 19 coming in for the Wolfpack.
Going to have a stoppage right there for this substitution coming in.
South Carolina with possession. Play starting. Lots of lateral passes. Looking to capitalize on another scoring opportunity.
Breaking away right now. Kind of pushing forward with their momentum.
NC State's defense doing everything they can to stop the Gamecocks.
Looks like they're coming up with the ball. Very physical play out here.
Oh, NC State back with possession of the game. Taking down hard. Gamecocks looking to take advantage of being so close to the scoring line once again.
Absolutely no. You never want to get that close and not come away with a try. Even though the Gamecocks have the lead, they definitely want to expand on that every opportunity they get.
Wolfpack
Looks like they're
powering through the field, number 12.
fantastic job there, just breaking through. Rough play right there. Looks like an infraction there by the Gamecocks. State taking the opportunity to break through. Looks like we have another injury down there.
Let's just hope that she's okay.
Again for the on the Gamecocks.
Oh, it's for the Gamecocks side. Look, she's good to go. That's always good to hear. But she's okay. Shakes it off and
just popped up incredibly quickly, honestly.
Wolfpack launches the ball down the field to be retrieved by the Gamecocks, just trying to keep them as far away from the goal line as possible.
Yes, indeed. Wolfpack there probably trying to get it out of bounds there so they can have the throw-in. Very aggressive physical play anytime you get even remotely close to either side here. Rain kind of alternating on and off here. The temperature, however, continues to stay low.
Makes you wish we still had that 70-degree weather from a couple days ago.
Oh, absolutely. That felt fantastic. Wish we had a little bit more of that. Rain wouldn't be a little bit more tolerable in that situation, but
yeah, I'll take a humid rain over a cold rain any day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Did not come prepared, not wearing nearly enough clothing.
You got to respect the grit, too. Like, despite, what looks like when people go down these injuries or what look to be injuries, they still got to rally around each other. Each team does.
Yes, very much so. And no, but just both teams, like, the physicality of these players and the fact that they can just pop up after taking such a hard hit, where I would most certainly just stay down out of anything, really. I just wouldn't want to get up after a hit like some of the ones we've seen today.
And you have to really respect the Wolfpack here. I mean, they're just such support on their side of the field. You don't hear much out of the Gamecock side,
no.
Of course, with it being a home game. But they have their supporters here. But you see the Wolfpack just kind of going bananas, trying to support their own. They want to pull out a win here, and even if the defense isn't all there, they want to push them to go harder.
Absolutely, no. Every time, the home team advantage definitely exists right here, especially I've noticed during the rugby games, because of how much support they get from their own side and their fans as well. There's actually a pretty decent turnout of Wolfpack fans here today.
Trying to decide who gets possession of the ball. Wolfpack made their way all the way down the field, getting closer and closer to the goal line. Trying to figure out his possession, though.
Yeah, bench coming out big time in terms of their support right now, screaming. Trying to get that breakaway right now for the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack trying to tie the game up. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's a try.
No, ball went out of play right there. Not quite, although a try definitely would have been the preferable result right there.
Absolutely. Yes, that was my mistake. Got a bit too excited when I saw the flag go up.
Hey, I always want to see it in terms of a try for the Wolfpack here. Getting very close yet again. Definitely want to convert this time.
A whistle blown. We'll see what that leads to.
The throw for the line out was not straight this time, but that means that the Wolfpack will get possession. Kind of a stoppage right now, kind of slowed down. Back to the physical action immediately as soon as I said that, though. Pushing as hard as they possibly can, trying to make something happen here.
So they're setting up once again.
Fans standing in a very, very, very particular place right now, blocking my vision a little bit. Pushing really hard here, trying to get through for that try.
And it's really kind of hard to keep up, like I mentioned at the action before. trying to figure out what's exactly going on because there's so many bodies just colliding. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't tell at any time who has possession of the ball.
Yeah, because most of the time you can't even see the ball. So many bodies just blocking out the ball right there. You can't even see, especially when it's on the far side of the field. It makes it a lot more difficult to see what's going on.
So they're pushing up the field, and it looks like it is a try this time.
Fantastic job there by the Wolfpack.
So the score would now be what?
10 to 10 right now, tied it up. Fantastic job there. Physicality just coming up big.
So I guess that means we'll see them try to come up for the conversion then, right, Logan?
Yep, definitely. If you want to get this one big time because it means you'll take the lead right here.
And it'll be the first time the Wolfpack has led all game, which would be huge for their momentum and also for their...
Yes, big time. And getting that conversion also just gives you a little bit more of a lead because you have to imagine that having that 1 point will make a big difference considering the Gamecocks haven't converted either of their conversions.
Yeah, when you have morale, when you're thinking about team morale, any little bit helps.
Absolutely.
So you think about leading in the points right now, and that says, you know what, we have a handle on this. We're able to come back from being down 5.
Yep, it looks like the conversion will not succeed right there. Going to be tied up at 10 right now.
And at least that answers the question, I think, too, of, you know, even when they're down, they are still determined to come back and be competitive and try to win this thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Most teams would just say, you know what, we're losing. It's really bringing us down. And, you know, we're really trying to compete and keep up, and it's just not working. But they're like, no, we will come back and we'll score, and we'll stay in this thing.
Absolutely. No, you got to have that competitive drive and just the will to keep going, even if things look bleak. Both teams playing a very physical game. We've certainly seen our fair share of hits and big plays out here. A couple of breakaways, but nothing too big, I would think. Honestly, we had that one breakaway for the Wolfpack, but it looks like right now we are at halftime out here. Not quite sure. Trying to figure that out right now. Both teams kind of returning to their respective sides.
It looks like this is sponsored by Cookout, it seems like. We've seen some of that.
A little jealous almost, honestly.
So Cookout, if you're listening, you know, if you want to officially sponsor this thing,
hit us up.
Yeah, we'll definitely take all the free food you want to give us, and we'll talk about Cookout all the time. I mean, it's NC State. That's something we can do. We can talk about Cookout here.
Absolutely. Got one of the main food sources so close to here.
And best of all, you know, Carolina can't. So, not South Carolina. We're talking about UNC Chapel Hill, Carolina.
Absolutely.
They can't talk about Cookout because they don't have one.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so right now it looks like we are, in fact, at halftime.
So we'll see you guys shortly. Again, I'm Andre, your color commentator.
I'm Logan. I'm out here being your play-by-play person out here at Upper Method Field.
And we'll see you guys shortly. And welcome back to Upper Method Field. This is Andre Corbett, your color commentator today.
I'm Logan Ward, your play-by-play announcer here.
And right now it looks like we're at halftime, and we've got a tie game right now. It's 10-10. None of the conversions seem to have been working. Why do you think that is, Logan?
I think the weather definitely has something to do with it, especially now that it's raining. It's going to make the ball a little bit more slick, but also it's really cold, so it's harder to kick things and just – it's very cold.
Absolutely, but I do think that conversions will play a big factor in this game. That'll be the determining factor in who we can see pull out a victory here. There have been a lot of missed conversions between all the scoring that's been going on. So overall, those are some missed points that could put the team just over the top.
Absolutely. No, you want to get the conversion every time because like we see right now, it's tied up 10-10. If even one of those conversions, you have a lead with an 11-10. And even if it's not that much of a lead, you always want to have the lead right there to make sure that just a little bit of padding, if anything else.
Absolutely. And we've been seeing a lot of physicality out of all the players today. They've been playing really hard, really intense. We even had, a player go down, number 9, on the Wolfpack. Apologies, I do not know her name because my memory stinks. But we do hope that she's okay, recovering well. What do you think, Logan? Do you think that's kind of the game of rugby, isn't it? You're going to expect people to go down. You hope for the best, but you expect them to go down.
Absolutely. No, you always hope for the best any time you see any player in any sport get injured, but you definitely want to have the next man up mentality or next woman up mentality for this, making sure that you just always have someone who can step up and step in and keep the game going as smoothly as you have it going.
Now, let me ask you this, Logan. What do you think is the biggest factor as far as the defense and the offense go for the Wolfpack? What do you think needs to happen in order to put us over the top and win this game?
I think on defense, they just got to make sure that they don't allow any big breakaways like we saw with both of the Gamecocks scores. You can't allow big breakaways like that. And on offense, you just got to keep pushing. They keep getting close down there. You just got to finally push it through.
Absolutely, and it seems like the South Carolina Gamecocks, their offense is very hard hitting. Yes. But one thing I do love about the Wolfpack today is that they fight so hard, as you can hear behind us. They're always hyped, they're always energetic, and they stand by one another. And one thing you'll never see them do is give up. That's for sure.
Absolutely. No, you got to love just how their perseverance in the face of the weather, the adversity in terms of injuries. It's very admirable how they're playing out here today.
The Wolfpack has never had a lead out here today, but you see them always energized, always fighting. You hear from the sidelines, people cheering for them. And I think that motivates them even more. Even if the Gamecocks score and they say, oh, we're down by 5 or by however much, they come back and they say, you know what, we're not out of this yet. We want to win this. We want to be competitive, and we want to come out of here victorious. So, Logan, what do you see the Gamecocks doing that the Wolfpack isn't doing as of yet?
Right now, they're getting a lot more lateral movement and a little bit burst of speed. The Wolfpack occasionally had 1 or 2 breakaways, but you'd have to imagine that the Wolfpack want to have more of those on offense. And in terms of defense, they want to be able to stonewall them like the Gamecocks have managed to do down in the defensive end.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing. Okay, and so it looks like we're getting ready to head back into the game. So, so with that being said, again, I'm Andre Corbett, your color commentator, and
I'm Logan Ward, play-by-play.
All right, guys, and we will see you guys shortly. And welcome back to the game. Again, this is Andre Corbett, your color commentator.
Logan Ward, your play-by-play announcer for today.
And we have the Gamecocks still facing off against the Wolfpack in this rugby match. The score is currently 10-10.
Absolutely, and you definitely, right now, mentality is it's 0-0. This is a whole new game right now. Tied up, you want to get the score, you want to make sure that you're getting everything you can out of your team in this last little stretch.
And then, Logan, can you tell us what typically, as far as the game goes, typically what are the halves and how long is the whole game overall usually?
So usually the game is going to be 80 minutes long. It's going to be 2 40-minute halves, and, well, we've already been through one, so here's the second one.
Yeah.
But definitely going to see a lot of physical play out of both of them because, regardless of what time it is and how much time is remaining, you're going to get a lot of pushes and you're going to try to score whenever you can.
Oh, Gamecocks with possession of the ball.
Looks like they're pushing really hard right now. Kind of refreshed. They've got a little bit of steam coming out of the break.
Wolfpack making sure that there's not a lot of movement.
Definitely stopping them right here. Wolfpack trying to come across.
With a whistle blown.
Looks like the Gamecocks will retain possession. Infraction by the Wolfpack there.
Gamecocks got some lateral movement going on there. Pushing their way up the ship. Oh, and the breakaway by the Gamecocks. There's no stopping here, it looks like.
One person to beat, managed to get them down somehow.
Lateral.
Gamecocks get the ball.
Now there's a stoppage, it looks like.
Looks like we might have a player down, actually, on the Gamecock side.
Well, here's hoping that she's okay.
Absolutely. I hate to see anybody go down ever.
Looks like she's taking a quick breather, trying to make sure everything's all functioning correctly.
With some of the hits you see, you just know that it's got to hurt. Especially with this cold, every hit's just going to sting.
Absolutely. So it looks like she's okay. She's back in the lineup, and they're getting ready to start again.
Yep.
Man, I'll tell you what, these rugby players are tough as nails.
Absolutely. No, just you see somebody go down, and the fact that they pop right back up, just it's amazing. Going to have a scrum right here. Wolfpack hoping to get possession here and hopefully break away, much like the Gamecocks had right there.
And the scrum starting up with the ball tossed in the middle.
Gamecocks going to get the ball here. Oh, Wolfpack contesting it.
Gamecocks with possession of the ball. Lots of lateral movement going on. They're trying to take advantage of that big stretch they had earlier.
Several jukes in there, just managing to break through the Wolfpack defense right there. Know if you're the Wolfpack, you got to definitely try to hope that you're going to bring them down. Wolfpack setting up for the laterals right there.
Oh, definitely some hard tackles going on there.
Absolutely, no. The renewed vigor and aggressiveness that both teams have right now coming out of the half is immense. Just a lot of talent out here on both teams, honestly. Both teams playing very hard. Gamecocks streaking up the field, getting that lateral movement, trying to push forward.
And it looks like that defense isn't really, that defense is holding up pretty strong too. I mean, granted, the Gamecocks made a breakaway, huge breakaway earlier, but that NC State defense is really trying to keep them from scoring another try.
Absolutely, and you got the whole bend, don't break mentality. You got to try to make sure that they don't break one off like that and just get a huge score right here, especially with the game tied up. You don't want to lose that tie. You want to be the one to break the tie. Especially out here in the second half, you want to make sure that you get that lead. Looks like we've got another stoppage right here. Oh, card. Wolfpack player being carded for a hit right there. Referee taking note of the player.
You got to imagine that the stoppages that keep occurring, it's probably going to break up the momentum too and probably kind of hit the team morale a little bit.
Absolutely, both sides, because whereas they had the momentum and they had the physicality and they were going strong, have to imagine that something's going to happen here.
Gamecocks with possession of the ball.
It's like
Lateral pass on the ground. Both teams fighting for possession of the ball. Gamecocks come away with it.
Laterals right here. They've got a perfect setup. Trying to make something happen.
Oh!
Getting past the Wolfpack. Fantastic tackle right there. Sliding to the ground to make sure that they get that stop.
Gamecocks running down the field.
Breaking away. Great tackle again, though.
The one thing you have to admire about this defense is that they can't seem to get the ball. The Gamecocks can't seem to get the ball to another player without being covered in another pack player.
Absolutely, and the ball going out of bounds there apparently, so we're going to have another throw in right here. Definitely both teams just very physical. The defense for the Wolfpack standing strong, like you were saying, though. Definitely, you'd imagine that the Gamecocks just pushing through like that would be detrimental to team morale, but they've stood strong. A little bit of a stoppage while we figure things out over here.
So it looks like we have another player entering the field. Number 1 of the Wolfpack heading in.
Got that neon penny over the top of the jersey.
We'll always know who number 1 is now. So you see a lot of the players kind of moving around, trying to keep themselves kind of warm and trying to kind of keep the blood pumping.
Absolutely.
You can definitely see that. You wonder how much of a factor that's actually playing into their play right now. I know we talk a lot about the cold, but I mean, to actually be out there, not as protected with clothing as you like to be in the cold.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta wonder if that's like, oh man, it's really cold out here, and I'm trying to run around and trying to keep my energy up.
Yep. No, you want to keep moving because it get cold and it could stop. It's just absolutely just bitter cold right now. The temperature seems to be dropping even further.
And let me ask you this, Logan: as far as the play goes, do you think it seems more like the offense, the Wolfpack are trying to keep up the Gamecocks, Because it seems like they make these big pushes down the field, and they might eventually score, and then we see them the Wolfpack trying to come back from that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, right now the Gamecocks are pushing very hard, and they're kind of setting the tone right now. But, you know, the Wolfpack are definitely going to try to come back as quickly as they can and as strong as they can whenever they potentially get the ball here. It's like the Wolfpack were bunched up a little bit there, not ready for the defense.
Wolfpack retreats possession of the ball. They're going to try to move it further up the field.
Rain coming down a little bit harder now. Temperature feels like it continues to drop.
Okay, we're going to see who takes advantage of this.
Good tackle there.
Gamecocks possession of the ball. They're going to try to score off of this.
Good tackle.
And we hear the Wolfpack on the sidelines getting riled up at the stop.
Always. Gamecocks trying to power through there.
And this Wolfpack team believes in one another. They believe that, yes, they're right down by the goal line, but they are not going to score this ball.
Absolutely no, and you got to have that team spirit, honestly. Just keep morale up and keep pushing, honestly. Gamecocks trying to get the ball through at the other end. Wasn't working down there.
That defense is incredible, though. You have to say, Logan. I mean, look, as far as close as they are, like the Wolfpack is not having it.
No, absolutely. Just great defense right now. They managed to clear it right there, actually. Gamecocks are going to come up with it, but Wolfpack swarming immediately. No, and you'll notice both teams are very physical right now. They just want to get that last little push because you feel a lot more comfortable if you've got the lead right here. Gamecock kind of breaking through right there. Fans over here screaming that it went forward there, but the ref seems to believe otherwise. Great job right now. Wolfpack trying to stay strong. The ball's so close, you really can't afford to give them a try right here.
It's difficult to make out what's going on.
Can't particularly see anything right now. Stoppage in play, however.
Yeah, we saw a lift going on just now. The Gamecocks have possession of the ball. And it looks like somebody went down.
Can't see from here.
Okay. Well, it looks like everybody's okay.
Yeah, as we said, we can't really make out what's going out down there. Score still remaining tied at 10-10, however. The rain continues to come down here at Upper Method. Thankful for this tent that we've got above us.
Yeah.
Long stoppage, admittedly.
Yeah, you have to wonder if I guess if people are trying to recollect themselves or trying to find out what's happening on.
Looks like the Gamecocks trying to get that quick try right there coming out of the break. It looks like the Gamecocks have converted a try. Believe that is what has happened down here. Yes, they have converted the try. They're going to take the lead up here, 15-10. Definitely for the Wolfpack, not the desired result when they got down that close.
Yeah, at this point, you got to wonder what they can do to really get ahead because they haven't really led the whole time. It seems like at most they've been tied, but they can't really seem to get ahead of these Gamecocks.
Yeah.
What do you think why do you think that is, Logan? Why is it so hard for them to? I know it's very competitive, but why do you think it's so hard for them to take the lead in this game?
I think you do have to keep in mind that the Gamecocks are just playing really well right now. Their defense is clicking, and their offense has been able to get the ball down the field and get those tries.
Yeah, I feel like it makes a lot more pressure puts a lot more pressure on the Wolfpack to keep answering back.
Yeah.
I think we won't really start seeing them really take off until they get a lead of their own, whether that's conversions too. Which we talked about that before. Conversions play a big part in this. I feel like momentum-wise and mentality-wise, if they got those conversions earlier, then that might give them a more mental advantage over the Gamecocks. Say, we finally have the lead over you, and we're going to keep this lead up.
Yes, indeed. I wasn't actually able to see if they converted that one or not. Saw the ball fly up, but I did not see if it went through, unfortunately. Gamecocks most certainly have the lead, though. Wolfpack definitely hoping that they can come up with a stop right now. Very cold and very wet right now.
Gamecock possession. Ooh. Taken down. Gamecock still moving forward, taken down again. Retrieved by the Gamecocks with a backwards pass. Oh, and the pass is missed.
A lot of big hits happening right down here.
Referee stopping the play there.
The Gamecocks scored, but I couldn't see if they got the conversion. So it's like 15-10 right now. Score currently sitting at 15-10 with the Gamecocks up. Wolfpack side, of course, you can hear how much they just really care right now.
And Logan, what do you think that does for the Gamecocks, hearing the Wolfpack be raucous and rowdy and just behind the Pack fan?
I think it definitely comes into account because you, as the opposing team, you hear the fans, you hear the side, and it gets in your head a little bit, honestly, and that's the whole point. Whereas it's invigorating the home team, it's definitely getting the Gamecocks' head. Right now, I think the Gamecocks are feeling pretty good right now, sitting on their lead, but always have to take the fan factor into account.
And we had a bit of a stoppage here for a moment. Now they're getting back in the scrum position. Waiting for the ref to give the go-ahead.
Incredibly physical game, just every time. No matter how many times I see a rugby game, it never ceases to amaze me.
NC State with the ball, working their way down the field. Flag is raised.
Looks like it went out of bounds. Player Jet coming away with the breakaway there. Definitely one thing you'll notice looking at the roster, there are some players that have either the name that will having their name or sometimes a pseudonym.
And you gotta love something like Jet. I mean, if I hear somebody Jet's headed my way, I feel like, okay, I'm gonna just get out the way.
Absolutely. Looks like we have a player coming back from the penalty, kind of having to stand down there, and you have to imagine that she's a little cold right now, not being able to move around as much as her counterparts.
Gamecocks with possession of the ball once again.
Wolfpack definitely hoping they can make something happen down here.
And we're trying to see who's got possession of the ball. It's very contentious right now between NC State and the Gamecocks.
Yes, definitely. And Gamecocks hoping that they can get a stop right here, and the Wolfpack hoping that they can tie this thing up. Now, and again, in these like slower moments when the ball isn't flying around the field, you're going to definitely have a little bit less of the big hits, but you're definitely going to have more pushes. Both teams just trying to overpower one another.
Oh, Gamecocks retain possession of the ball after a brief holding period by the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack spread out right now.
Ball gets tossed away by the Gamecocks.
Gamecocks retain possession, however. Wolfpack quickly tackle them down, though.
And the Wolfpack defense is just pushing them back. They are so close to the goal line. The Wolfpack are hoping to turn one of these tackles into a possession on their part.
Absolutely, and as much as we talk about defense coming into play near their own scoring area, you have to keep in mind that they're also trying to stop them closer to their area as well. In a way, defense and offense is basically a blend.
So we had a flag raised just now.
It's like the ball has gone out of play yet again. I'm going to have another toss in.
So, Logan, with the rugby, is it common to kind of, I mean, you see the athleticism of them trying to run the ball through and everything else, but is it common to not really move around as much, like with the juking and the side swipes and things like that?
You'll notice that you don't see a lot of them, but you will see little, jukes every time down the field, because you'll see that, for example, when a player is running through the middle and they don't have a lateral open, they'll immediately just juke in between different players. Little stutter steps here and there, trying to break through.
We had a lift with, NC State got possession of that lift. NC State got the ball again, trying to push hard towards the goal line.
You're so close down here. You really want to get a try right here, right now. Tie this game up and potentially give yourself a chance to win this thing.
And that offense is they're fighting for a chance. They're fighting for victory here.
Absolutely. No matter what position on the field or whatever the score is, you're definitely pushing for a victory every single time.
And even though there is that mindset of, okay, it's hard to get the lead in this game, we're playing catch up. There's also the possibility they have the mindset of, you know what, you score, we're right up there with you. We're going to keep fighting.
Absolutely, and especially with a game as close as this, it's always going to be very contentious. You're going to notice a lot of physicality out of both teams, especially at this point in the game in the second half.
I'm not going to lie, Logan, as hard as these...
Looks like a breakaway.
Oh! And it looks like NC State has got the true...
Not quite.
Not quite.
Oh, so close.
Oh, they're really fighting for the ball. What the Gamecocks are saying. The whistle was blown. I guess they're going to set up.
Very physical play right here. Trying to get that last little bit. They're so close.
And you got to imagine it's probably very frustrating for them, Logan, to still be fighting so close to the goal line here.
Absolutely. No. Of course, you want the easiest path possible to get those points, but you get those hard-fought points, it just feels good.
Yeah, when you keep pushing forward and you're at the goal line and you keep trying to score, you got to imagine that it gets frustrating. It's like, come on, we want this goal. We want to do this.
Looks like yet another player returning for the Wolfpack. Trying to get this score right here. You'll notice the clump of Gamecocks ready to defend. Both teams just instantly ready.
So what do you suppose they're going for here, Logan? I mean, do you think they're going to try to get the try, or do you think they're going to try to kick a goal? Or
I think they're definitely going to try to get the try here because, you're down 5. You want to tie it up and give yourself a better opportunity to score even more points. Especially when you're this close, you don't want to give up anything.
And we got the scrum going on here. NC State puts up possession.
Gamecocks right on it, though.
NC State so badly wanting to translate this into a score.
Indeed.
Gamecocks get possession back of the ball, and they're breaking away down the field.
Big hit, though. Very disappointing for the Wolfpack right there.
It's not over yet. The NC State Wolfpack are still trying to get in this game.
Wolfpack getting the push right there. Ref going to call it off and award possession to the Wolfpack.
As hard as these ladies are playing today, it almost makes me want to see, actually it does make me want to see an intramural league with male-female. I feel like that would be one heck of a game.
It would certainly be entertaining. Both players, both genders, they play insanely hard every time they step out here on the field.
Yeah, and really, I'd be more scared for the male players.
Seeing some of the hits we've seen out here today and how fast and how hard just everybody's out here playing, I would certainly agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, I know I couldn't keep up, that's for sure.
No, this game requires a mixture of everything. You got to have speed, but you've most certainly got to have power to succeed in this sport. Lower body strength especially, just very big out here.
And especially when you're playing in the elements, Logan, it's such a hard mixture of the physical and the mental, you know?
Absolutely, yes.
And we had a flag go up, so it looks like the ball was out of bounds.
Looks like that is the case. Gonna have a throw in right here. Really, it's just kind of incredible to watch them pick each other up and try to get possession of the ball here.
Oh, NC State with possession of the ball after the lift.
Flag going up again. Looks like it went out yet again. One of the things that happens with the throw-ins being so close and the players being so close to try to catch it.
Tell you what, though, Logan, if there were points for every time the ball went out of bounds instead of scoring, this game would be way up there by now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Wolfpack knocking it out of bounds more often than not, though. Ball just absolutely flying back.
Gamecocks kicking it far away to get that distance away from their goal line.
Great tackle there by the Gamecocks, but Wolfpack breaking away a little bit, breaking a tackle and continuing to move it up.
Wolfpack fighting hard, running up the field.
That's the breakaway speed that you really need right here.
They are fighting. They want this game.
If they keep fighting like this, they are going to have it.
Lots of laterals being passed, back and forth. Teammates literally pushing each other towards the goal line.
You're so close here. You can't give up now. You got to make sure that you get this try.
The Wolfpack Nation going crazy. Wolfpack wants this goal as much as the team does.
Absolutely. Very close. Not yet.
So we're trying to verify what exactly.
Looks like they did not convert the try just yet.
Tell you, that was a bit of excitement just now, was it not?
Absolutely, with how hard they were pushing.
I felt my heart pumping. I was like, man.
No, you're definitely going to feel that in this
that big
icy temperature.
Yeah, those big plays they just made were those were insane. And you felt every member of the Wolfpack out there giving them their energy, giving them their strength. And now they're back into the scrum.
Wolfpack has to make something happen here if they want to stay in this game.
Trying to recapture the energy to make sure that they can score.
Looks like Wolfpack get driven back a little bit there. Coach over here expressing her frustration.
Yeah, she's not happy. I think it's been frustrating for her to see them keep getting so close, but yet that Gamecock defense is kind of driving them back.
Yes, absolutely, and they're going to be a little disappointed. Some of them are expressing their disappointment in some of the calls made by the referee out here today, or lack thereof. But you're going to get that in every sport on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the ref, realistically, you know, it may be frustrating, but the ref can't be everywhere. The ref can't see everything.
Absolutely.
So they can only call it the best way that they see it, not the best way that it is.
Yes, exactly. No, and that's why the ref is so close to the action in every single possible way, just getting right up in there in the scrums.
Oh, and the ball launched all the way down the field for NC State. They're going to try to make a run to get it back up towards the goal line again. but that defense is all over them. Isn't that right, Logan?
Yes, absolutely. Just swarming to the ball.
Do you think the Gamecocks feel the pressure, feel the offensive pressure that the Wolfpack is bringing, and they're trying to make sure they don't overcome that?
Right now, yes. They're very much trying to just do everything in their power to make sure that they can get this opportunity. The ball going sailing out of bounds with that kick right there. Wolfpack have to take advantage of this, get themselves back into this game.
But you have to imagine, Logan, too, that with them getting so close to scoring and tying this game up, that it's kind of bringing out something more in the Gamecocks, too, because they can kind of see it. I think they kind of see the runs that this Wolfpack is making, and they're saying, okay, we need to step it up ourselves.
Absolutely. No, you guarantee that both teams are feeling the pressure right now. The Wolfpack feeling a lot of pressure to score, and the Gamecocks feeling a lot of pressure to get every stop that they can.
Wolfpack with possession of the ball again. Lots of laterals going on here.
Wolfpack trying to break away.
Oh, a missed lateral by the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack pick it back up, though.
Wolfpack
keep the
still
pressure
moving
up.
Down the field.
Good tackle by the Gamecocks. Very rough physical play right here.
And that's a lot of things. Oh. Wolfpack goes down, trying to recover the ball.
Gamecocks defense really just trying so hard here and coming up with some results right now.
And that's a big difference between rugby and football too, Logan, right? In your opinion, like when you go down, there's a stoppage, and that kind of breaks the game up a little more.
Absolutely. Rugby is continuous movement with a few stoppages that you'll notice happen for a little bit, but most of the time it is continuous movement, continuous play. You don't have any opportunities for a breather, whereas with football, you have a little bit of a stoppage after every single play. Biggest difference, of course, being the pads, though. While they offer a little bit more protection, you do have to imagine that these players like the feeling of freedom of not being restricted by those. Wolfpack pushing very hard, trying to get the ball here.
Wolfpack, trying to make them with the field.
They retain possession, though.
Yeah, and the Gamecocks have possession of the ball. And it's just, that defensive pressure, it's not letting the Wolfpack go anywhere.
Absolutely not. And, that's just absolutely killer for the Wolfpack. They're trying so hard to make something happen. Gamecocks just driving down the field right now, though.
I mean, if you had to say, if you had to talk about different factors and what's helping this game go on, at the end of the game, let's say, what do you think would be the bigger factor here?
Bigger factor will be the defensive stops. If the Gamecocks have made more stops on defense right now, and that's why they have the lead. If the Wolfpack can come up with some big stops right here, get the ball back and get a couple more scores, then we'll be talking about how great their defense came up clutch at the end. But defensive pressure, always the deciding factor in these sort of games. Gamecocks pushing forward.
Well, literally, it seems like foot by foot.
Absolutely. Now, as much as you hear the old adage that
NC State recovers the ball, gets taken down immediately.
As much as you hear about football being a game of inches, rugby is just absolutely fighting for every inch that you can get.
It's definitely a slog.
Yes.
Or as JR would say of WWE, the announcer, he'd say it's one slobber knocker of a match.
Definitely got a lot of great quotes from him.
So we had a player step out, number 21, take a brief rest. I mean, again, that's another part of being tired. As tired as you are, as any professional, as any athlete might be, you can imagine with something like rugby being so continuous, there's not really much of a chance for you to really catch your breath.
Absolutely, no. It looks almost painful, honestly, with how hard they're breathing, just how many hits they take in a game and how rough this entire game just is. As they link up right there for the scrum.
Ball's tossed in.
Scrum kind of dissolves right there. Everybody kind of collapses into one another.
And for the audience at home, Logan, can you tell them what kind of happens when the ball gets thrown into the scrum?
Well, you may not get a great look at it, but when the ball gets thrown to the scrum, you'll see a lot of legs kicking, trying to just knock it backwards into one another. As we see some substitutions come out right here, particularly with the scrum in mind, I'd imagine. But no, you'll see a lot of legs kicking, just trying to get that ball backwards, and that's why you want to get a little bit more of a push from your team right here, trying desperately to get that little bit.
Absolutely, because you might see some people who are like, why don't they just reach in and grab the ball? Oh, that's not how it works, you know.
Gamecocks get a little bit of a push right here, and that effort is rewarded with the ball as they try to lateral it and move the ball down the field. Wolfpack kind of dragging behind a little bit on defense.
Gamecocks making it to the halfway mark.
Wolfpack getting the ball, though. Great job and effort by both teams right here, neither giving an inch. The ball's kind of been stuck in this little area for good several minutes right now.
Yeah, it seems like neither team can really capitalize on it, although I don't think that the Gamecocks really need to. The Gamecocks just need to keep them from scoring again.
Absolutely.
They want this game in the bag.
Absolutely. Gamecocks just need to bend, and very much. They can bend as much as they want as long as they don't give up another try. Gamecocks enjoying a 15-10 lead. No conversions happening today. Potentially a mixture of the weather we're having, and yeah, I'd say the weather is a big factor in that.
Absolutely. It looks like we've got another stoppage going on here. And I think the ball might have gone out of bounds, or we're trying to figure out what's going on.
And you have to imagine the players getting muddy out there with all of the time that they spend on the ground.
Ball's moved inbounds. And the ref's holding her hand up.
Potentially just signifying that this stoppage of play is continuing.
Okay, so we see them on giving each other space. So you can imagine that they're going to kick the ball down the field, which they did.
It's a good kick right there, knocking it out of bounds way down the field. So we're going to have another throw in right here.
And once again, the ball being moved further away, giving the Wolfpack losing another opportunity to score on that one.
Yes, absolutely. And you have to imagine with these substitutions, you got a little bit of some fresh legs in there. Feels good for them to get out and get a little bit more action than they are getting here, standing on the sideline. Got this toss in from the Wolfpack right here. They're going to recover it right here. Good push from both sides, though. Gamecocks trying very hard to not give up any inches right now. A little bit of behind lateral right there.
Wolfpack trying to push through.
Number 13 just absolutely incredible with how quickly she moves the ball when the ball gets in her hands.
It's literally it's just so difficult for them. They just can't seem to get the ball without having a body on them. This defense is just out there.
Great push right there from the Wolfpack. Incredible movement.
Number 20 of the Wolfpack is literally just pushing. Wolfpack recovers the ball, lateral pass, and no, Gamecocks are all over him again.
Lateral bobbled there a little bit, gives the Gamecocks a little bit more time. 19 of the Wolfpack pushing forward, rolling forward, trying to get every inch. Wolfpack retain possession. They're going to continue going, just going to try to drive right here, get as much ground as they can out of the little stoppage in play.
Ball was loose, Wolfpack recovers it. Oh, down on the ground, Wolfpack retrieves it. Backwards lateral pass.
Wolfpack trying so hard to get this score right here. No, Gamecocks
Almost
doing
gasping. It's like heavy breaths over here trying to find out what's going on. This game is very exciting.
absolutely. Gamecocks just trying very hard not to give up anything at this point in the game.
Another scrum going on here.
Oh, fantastic job from both sides. The physicality just pouring through in these last few moments of the game.
Looks like Gamecocks have possession of the ball. NC State on defense, trying to stop a potential run.
Allowing a big breakaway right there, though. Fortunately for the Wolfpack, very few Gamecocks there to take advantage of it, although they do get the ball out of bounds.
And ladies and gentlemen, you can hear that wind blowing, so you can hear it. Obviously, you kind of get an idea which way the wind's blowing in this game too.
Absolutely. The wind just blowing and the rain falling is just a very large combination of factors that have driven this wind chill down very far. Great job there.
NC State with the possession.
Ball slipping away, though.
Wide open space for her to make a run. She's got a wave of black running towards her.
Breakaway speed, though, and a fantastic stiff arm to try to break away a little bit more. Ball loose on the ground there. It looks like the Wolfpack are going to retain it and get out of bounds with it. Wolfpack will retain possession here. Both teams out here just...
They're giving it their all. They're really not giving an inch to anybody, it seems.
Absolutely not.
It's such a response. This is probably one of the most exciting games I've seen pretty much all year from any team.
Yeah, honestly. The physicality just exuding from both teams is incredible.
It's like you never know who is going to score at any given time in this game.
Yep.
Or who's not going to score.
Looks like the Gamecocks will come up with the ball right here, though, and punt it, trying to get that ball as far away from their own goal as possible. Wolfpack letting it roll a little bit here, actually, before breaking away with it a little bit, trying to get to the sideline. Lateral backwards.
NC State with possession again.
Now,
Really making some big lateral pushes up the field.
you'll see when they break into all of these different piles of Gamecocks, you'll notice that they try to get as much yardage as they can. You'll notice those little juke moves and stutter steps, trying to get as much as they can. Wolfpack getting a little bit of a push right there, trying to break away, get something out of this momentum. Big hit there. And you'll notice after a lot of these big hits, they don't even try for the ball. They just immediately run back because not allowed to play a lot on the ground unless your team... Wolfpack with a huge breakaway right there. Number 12 just breaking down the field with a huge stiff arm.
Is she going to do this, Logan? Is she going to go all the way down the field?
Looks like she's going
She's gonna make it. She got to try.
Fantastic score right there for the Wolfpack, tying this game up at 15. That's huge for them right now.
You heard Logan. The game's 15-15 Wolfpack. They have come back. Somehow there was a lapse in that ironclad Gamecock defense, and the Wolfpack took advantage, broke all the way down the field, and got the score.
Absolutely incredible job there by number 12. She just took the ball and just found a hole and sprinted right through it.
At that point, I feel like the Gamecocks said, okay, we just got to get out the way now.
It might as well have. Rain letting up a little bit out here. Upper method.
So we kind of see the Wolfpack convening now, and the Gamecocks themselves off on the side convening themselves.
Yep, Wolfpack definitely going to try to get this conversion right here, take the lead. This is a big moment right now because if they make this, they take the lead, and in these waning moments of the game, got to imagine that they really want this. That's not going to be good.
Right, looks like they're taking a small break to once again reconvene, maybe get some water, re-energize a little bit.
Absolutely. Looks like this may actually be it, though.
So Logan, based off of what you know, can rugby games really end in a draw? Or
I believe they can end in a draw, Andre. Really just seeing right now what's going to happen, all this stuff going on. And that looks like it's going to be it out of the game right now. Draw from both sides. Fantastic game played by both teams, though.
Very exciting, especially that last-minute score on part of the Wolfpack. They definitely fought hard to the very end.
Absolutely. No, great effort out of both teams today, and it was just an incredible show of athleticism. Okay.
All right. And so we've also seen some that great Wolfpack intensity that we expect to see from all of our members of the Wolfpack.
Absolutely.
So as the game seems to be wrapping up, well, I just want to say that again, my name is Andre, your color commentator. It's been great covering it for you guys today. We saw a great matchup today with the Wolfpack versus the Gamecocks with a score of 15-15 for the draw.
Absolutely. I'm Logan. I've been your play-by-play. It was fantastic to be here and just watch this game in general, much less commentate on it.
All right, so you guys have a great day. We're coming at you from Method Field, and we'll catch you guys soon. Hello and welcome back to Method Field. My name's Andre, your color commentator.
I'm Logan. I've been your play-by-play for today.
And it looks like this game is wrapped up with the Gamecocks versus the Wolfpack. We had a score of 15-15. What was your biggest takeaway today, Logan?
It was just a great game played by both sides. Very physical on both sides. Conversions being missed, really setting the tone for the game. A total of 6 missed. So you hate to see that, but also it's kind of fitting that it ended in a draw with how hard both sides played today.
Yeah, and even if it did end in a draw, it almost ended up in a loss for the Wolfpack, but they had this huge last-minute play to drive down the field and get that last-minute score and make it a draw. What was the biggest impact of that for you, Logan?
Just the fact that it ended in a draw, because it was so close to the final moments of the game. And with number 12 of the Wolfpack just streaking down the field, breaking away, that really changes the momentum. And had they had more time, we might have been able to see what that momentum did for the team.
And Logan, I know throughout the game we were talking about the differences between the Wolfpack offense and the Gamecock defense, and we were going to talk about which factor was biggest after the game was over. So, do you think either factor was more impactful than another, or?
Really, it was a balance between the two, as we saw with the Wolfpack offense just breaking away with that final moment. The Gamecock defense was strong all game, so both really had a big effect in this game, but they really just played equal parts throughout the entire game.
Absolutely. And I love the grime and the grit of both teams, but the Wolfpack never gave up. Even when they were down for a while, 15-10, they just kept playing hard. The Wolfpack on the sidelines encouraged them to keep going, keep fighting hard, and they pulled out that extra score for the tie. And they continue to fight, and that's what you want to see in the Wolfpack, and that's what you see in all kinds of teams for the Wolfpack. So overall, what are your last impressions, Logan?
Just a fantastic game. I'm really glad that I got to see it, honestly. Even if it was this cold and rainy, both teams played hard, both teams played well, and it was a really great game to watch.
All right, you guys heard it. So my name's Andre once again, Andre Corbett, your color commentator.
Here with Logan Ward, your play-by-play.
And we're bringing you into the pack here at Pack TV.